At that moment, the door opened softly. Looking timidly about her, a girl entered the room. Everyone turned to her in surprise and curiosity. At first, Raskolnikov didn't recognize her. It was Sofya Semyonovna. That's difficult. It was Sofya Semyonovna Marmeladova. Sofya Semyonovna Marmeladova. He'd seen Sonia yesterday for the first time, but at such a moment, in such circumstances and in such an outfit, that the image imprinted on his memory was of a different person. Oh, this is not going to help his case. Before him now was a modestly, even poorly dressed girl, still very young, much like a child, with a modest and decorous manner, and a clear yet somewhat frightened-looking face. She was wearing a very simple little house dress and a worn, old-fashioned little hat. Only the parasol in her hands was the same. Seeing the room so unexpectedly full of people, she was not so much disconcerted as utterly lost and girlishly shy. She even made as if to go back out. "Ah, it's you," said Raskolnikov, in the greatest astonishment, and suddenly became embarrassed himself. It had immediately occurred to him that his mother and sister already knew in passing, from Lucian's letter, about a certain girl of notorious conduct. Just now he'd objected to Lucian's slander, and mentioned having seen this girl for the first time, when suddenly here she was. Yeah, that's not going to help your case at all, is it? He also recalled making no objection at all to the expression notorious conduct. All this passed through his mind in a flash and a blur, but after a closer look, he saw just how low this lowly creature had been brought, and felt a sudden pity. And when she made as if to run away in terror, something seemed to turn over inside him. "I wasn't expecting you at all," he hurried, stopping her with his look. "Please kindly take a seat. Katerina Ivanovna sent you, I suppose? Not there, if you don't mind. Why not here?" When Sonia came in, Razumikin, who had been sitting on one of Raskolnikov's 3 chairs right next to the door, had got up to let her pass. At first Raskolnikov had wanted to seat her on the corner of the couch, where Zossimov was sitting, but remembering that this was too familiar a place, and served as his bed, he rushed to point her towards Razumikin's chair. "And you sit here," he told Razumikin, seating him in the corner where Zossimov was sitting. Sonia sat down, almost trembling with fear, and glanced timidly at both ladies. It was obvious that she herself did not understand how she could ever sit next to them. Realizing this, she had such a fright that she suddenly got up again and turned in complete embarrassment to Raskolnikov. I won't stay long, and I'm very sorry to disturb," she stammered. "Katerina Ivanovna sent me. There was no one else. Katerina Ivanovna told me to ask you most kindly to attend the funeral service tomorrow in the morning during the liturgy at Mitrofanievsky Cemetery, and then come to her to eat, to do her the honour she told me to ask." Sonia broke off and fell silent. "I'll certainly try, certainly," replied Raskolnikov, also getting up and also stuttering and not finishing his sentence. "Kindly take a seat," he said suddenly. "I need to have a word with you. Please. I expect you're in a hurry. Be so kind, give me 2 minutes." He drew up a chair for her. Again Sonia sat down, and again, as if lost, shot a timid, hasty glance at the 2 ladies, and suddenly looked down. Raskolnikov's pale face suddenly flushed. His whole body seemed to convulse, and his eyes caught fire. "Mamma," he said firmly and insistently, "this is Sofya—" I want to say the name again. "This is Sofya Semyonovna Marmeladova, the daughter of that same unfortunate Mr. Marmeladov, who yesterday was trampled by horses before my very eyes." "You didn't actually witness the trampling, though." I've already told you about her. Pulcheria Alexandrovna glanced at Sonia and narrowed her eyes a little. For all her discomfort beneath Roger's insistent and defiant gaze, she was simply unable to deny herself this satisfaction. Donica stared straight into the poor girl's face, seriously and intently, examining her bewilderment. On hearing this introduction, Sonia briefly looked up again, but became even more embarrassed than before. I wanted to ask you, Raskolnikov quickly addressed her, how it all went today. Did anyone bother you? The police, for example? No, sir. Everything was fine. The cause of death was very clear and no one bothered us. The tenants across, that's all. What about? About the body lying there so long in this heat, smelling. So today, before Vespers, they'll move it to the cemetery until tomorrow in the chapel. Katerina Ivanovna didn't want to at first, but now she can see for herself it's not. Today, then? She asks you to do us the honour of attending the service tomorrow in the church and invites you to her for the funeral banquet. She's putting on a funeral banquet? Yes, sir, a small one. She gave strict instructions to thank you for helping us yesterday. If it wasn't for you, we'd have nothing at all for the funeral. Her lips and chin suddenly began to twitch, but she steeled herself and held firm, quickly lowering her eyes again to the floor. While they were talking, Raskolnikov studied her closely. She had a terribly thin, terribly pale little face, quite irregular and somehow sharp, with a sharp little nose and chin. You couldn't even call her pretty, but her light blue eyes were so clear, and her whole expression became so kind and guileless when they lit up, that it was impossible not to be drawn towards her. In addition, her face, and indeed her whole figure, had one special characteristic trait. Despite her 18 years, that's gross. She still looked like a little girl, all but a child. That's really gross. That's really, really gross, especially seeing as she's a prostitute and, oh, man. She still looked like a little girl, all but a child, and at times was even something comical about the way her gestures betrayed this. But how could Katerina Ivanovna make do with such a small sum? And there'll even be a bite to eat, you say? Asked Raskolnikov, determined to keep the conversation going. Well, but the coffin will be simple enough, sir. And everything will be simple, so it won't cost much. Katerina Ivanovna and I worked it all out yesterday, and there'll be enough left over for the banquet. And Katerina Ivanovna badly wants there to be one. After all, sir, one can't just... She'll feel better for it. You know how she is. Yes, I understand, of course. Why are you studying my room like that? And there's Mama saying it looks like a coffin. But yesterday you gave us all you had, Sonika shot back in a loud and rapid whisper, suddenly looking down to the floor again. And again her lips and chin began to twitch. She'd been struck straight away by the poverty of Raskolnikov's circumstances, as she thought he was rich. And now these words suddenly burst from her lips. Silence followed. Donika's eyes became somehow brighter, while Pulcheria Alexandrovna looked at Sonia almost with warmth. Roger, she said, getting up. We'll have lunch together, of course. Off we go now, Donica. And you go out too, Roger. Have a little walk, and then a rest and a lie down, and come as soon as you can. I fear we've tired you out. Yes, yes, I'll come, he replied, getting up in a hurry. Though actually, there's something I have to do. Don't tell me you're not even going to eat together, yelled Razumikin, looking at Raskolnikov in astonishment. What are you saying? Yes, yes, I'll come. Of course I will. And you stay here for a minute. After all, you don't need him now, do you, Mamma? Or perhaps you do. Oh, no, no. But do come and have lunch, Dmitri Prokofych. Won't you? Yes, do come, asked Dunya. Razumikin bowed, beaming all over. For a second everyone became strangely embarrassed. Goodbye, Roger. Till soon, I mean. I don't like the word goodbye. Goodbye, Natasya. Dearie me, I said it again. Pulcheria Alexandrovna was about to bow to Sonika as well, but somehow she didn't quite manage and hurried out the room. There's a little bit of prejudice for you then. Dunya, though, seemed to be waiting her turn, and as she, too, passed Sonia on her way out, she bowed to her attentively and courteously, bending fully. Sonika was embarrassed and returned the bow in a somewhat rushed, frightened manner, and there was even a look of pain on her face, as if Avdotya Romanovna's courtesy and attention were a burden and a torment to her. "Dunya, goodbye," shouted Raskolnikov, when they were already by the door. "Give me your hand, then." "But I already did. Or have you forgotten?" answered Dunya, turning around to him warmly and awkwardly. "So give it to me again." He gave her little fingers a firm squeeze. Danica smiled at him, turned bright red, hurriedly wrenched her hand free, and followed her mother out. She, too, for some reason, a picture of happiness. "Well, isn't that splendid?" he said to Sonia, returning to his room and looking at her brightly. "May the dead rest in peace and may the living live. Isn't that right? Isn't it? Isn't it?" Sonia was astonished to see his face brighten so suddenly. For several seconds he studied her in silence, and that moment everything her late father had said about her suddenly flashed through his mind. "Goodness gracious, Danica," began Pulcheria Alexandrovna the second they were outside. "Now I'm almost happy we've left. Relieved in a way. Could I ever have thought yesterday in the train that such a thing could make me happy? I keep telling you, Mama, he's still very sick. Can't you see that? Perhaps it was our suffering that upset him. We mustn't be too hard on him. And then a great deal can be forgiven." "But you were hard on him," Pulcheria Alexandrovna immediately interrupted hotly and jealously. "Jealously? You know, Dunya, I was looking at you both, and you're his spitting image, and I don't mean your face so much as your soul. No! Both of you are melancholics. Both of you are moody and quick-tempered, both haughty and high-minded. After all, it's impossible that he could be selfish, isn't it? No? Isn't it, Danica? Isn't it? And when I think what's going to happen at our place this evening, my heart goes numb. Don't worry, Mama. What has to be, will be. Danica, just think about our situation. What if Pyotr Petrovich refuses?" Poor Pulcheria Alexandrovna suddenly ventured. "And what will he be worth after that?" Danica snapped back with contempt. "It's a good thing we left just now," Pulcheria Alexandrovna hurriedly interrupted. "He was rushing off somewhere. A walk will do him good, some fresh air at least. It's dreadfully stuffy up there. But where can you find fresh air here? Even the streets are like rooms without windows. Heavens, what a town. Watch out or they'll crush you. They're carrying something. Well, I never. It's a piano. How they push and shove. This young girl scares me as well." "Which young girl, Mama?" "That one, you know, Sofya Semyonovna. We saw her just now. But why?" "I have this premonition, Dunya. You won't believe me, but the moment she came in, it occurred to me that this is the crux of it all." "It's not the crux of anything," Dunya cried in vexation. "Really, Mama, you and your premonitions. He's only known her since yesterday, and when she came in just now, he didn't recognize her. Well, wait and see. She troubles me. You'll see. You'll see. I got such a fright. The way she was looking at me, those eyes of hers, I nearly fell off my chair. And the way he began introducing her, remember? How strange. Pyotr Petrovich writing all those things about her, and there he is introducing her to us like that. And even to you, so she must be dear to him. He can write what he likes. People have said, and even written, things about us as well, or have you forgotten? I'm quite sure that she is a beautiful person, and that all this is just nonsense. Well, it's not nonsense, but at the same time, it's not her fault, so don't be so judgy. God help her, and Pyotr Petrovich is a wretched gossip," Danica suddenly snapped. At this, Pulcheria Alexandrovna simply wilted. The conversation broke off. "Were you thinking you don't want to marry him now? Now then, Here's what I want to ask you about, said Raskolnikov, leading Razumikin away towards the window. So I can tell Katerina Ivanovna you'll come? Sonia put in, hastily bowing and preparing to leave. Just a minute, Sofya Semyonovna. We've no secrets here, and you're not in the way. There's something else I'd like to tell you. Now then, he said, without finishing, turning very abruptly to Razumikin. You know that, what's his name again? Porfiry Petrovich? Too right I do, we're related. Why do you ask? He added, bursting with curiosity. Well, that business, you know, the murder. Weren't you saying yesterday he's in charge? Yes. And? Razumikin's eyes suddenly bulged from their sockets. He wanted to see the pawners and, well, I left pledges there too. Just junk really, but still my sister's ring, which she gave me as a memento when I moved here, and my dad's silver watch. The whole lot's only worth 5 or 6 rubles, but it's dear to me, for the memory. So what should I do now? I don't want the things to disappear, especially not the watch. I was worried just now that Mother would ask to see them when Dunika's watch was mentioned. It's the only thing of my father's that's survived. She'll take to her bed if it disappears. Women. So what should I do? Tell me. I suppose I should go down to the police station and declare them? But wouldn't I be better off going straight to Porfiry? What do you think? The sooner I do it, the better. Mama will have asked by lunchtime. You'll see. Forget about the police station and go straight to Porfiry. I'm saying that wrong. I've been saying that wrong this whole time. Porfiry. Oh, my God. Forget about the police station and go straight to Porfiry, shouted Razumikin, quite unusually excited. That's made my day. We may as well go now. It's just round the corner. He's bound to be there. All right, let's go. He'll be very, very, very pleased to meet you. He's heard a lot about you from... Excuse me, little miss. We are not yelling at people. And that and I have to stop because people are playing football and that's going to be too distracting. He's heard a lot about you from me at various times. Yesterday too. Off we go. So you knew the old crone? Fuck's sake.
Aiya, here is your reminder. Take your drugs.
I did. Alexa, stop.
This is a reminder. Stop procrastinating and brush your fucking teeth.
Okay, Alexa, stop. Anything else? So you knew the old crone, eh? Well, I never. Isn't it marvellous how it's all turned out? Oh, yes. Sofya Ivanovna. Sofya Semyonovna, Raskolnikov corrected him. Sofya Semyonovna, this is my friend Razumikin, and a good man, too. If you need to be going now, Sonia began, without even a glance in Razumikin's direction, which only made her more embarrassed. Off we go then, Raskolnikov decided. I'll call by later today, Sofya Semyonovna. Just tell me, where do you live? The words came out clearly enough, but he seemed to be rushing and avoiding her gaze. Sonia gave her address and blushed as she did so. They all went out together. Don't you lock up? Asked Razumikin, following them down the stairs. Never! Though I've been meaning to buy a lock for 2 years, he added nonchalantly. Happy are those with no need to lock, eh? He laughed, turning to Sonia. Outside, they stopped beneath the arch. You're turning right here, Sofya Semyonovna? How did you find me, by the way? He asked, as though wishing to say something completely different to her. All this time he'd been wanting to look into her quiet, clear eyes, but somehow he never quite managed it. You gave your address to Poleka yesterday. Polya? Ah, yes, Poleka, the little one. She's your sister? So I gave her my address? Have you really forgotten? No, I remember. And I'd already heard about you from the dear departed, only I didn't know your surname yet, and he didn't know either. And when I came just now, and seeing as I found out your surname yesterday, so today I asked, does Mr. Raskolnikov live around here? I didn't know you were sub-renting too. Goodbye, sir. I'll let Katerina Ivanovna know. No, hang on. I'll let Katerina Ivanovna. She was terribly relieved to get away at last. She walked off, head down, hurrying along, anything so as to get out of sight as quickly as possible, to put these 20 paces behind her, turn right and be alone at last, and then, walking along quickly, not seeing anyone, not noticing anything, to think, recall, consider every spoken word, every circumstance. Never before had she felt anything like it. A whole new world, obscurely out of nowhere, had entered her soul. She suddenly remembered Raskolnikov wanted to come and see her today. Perhaps this morning, perhaps right now. Just not today, please, not today, she muttered, her heart skipping a beat, as if she were begging someone like a frightened child. Heavens, coming to my room, he'll see, Lord! And of course there was no chance of her noticing at that moment a certain gentleman, a stranger, who was watching her closely and following in her footsteps. He'd been trailing her ever since she'd turned out of the gates. At that moment, when Razumikin, Raskolnikov, and she had paused for a few words on the pavement, this man, passing by, happened to catch Sonia's words. So I asked, "Does Mr. Raskolnikov live around here?" and gave a sudden start. He looked all three of them over quickly, but thoroughly, especially Raskolnikov, to whom Sonia was speaking. Then he glanced at the building and noted that, too. All this was done in a flash, on the go, and the passer-by, trying not to draw the slightest attention to himself, carried on, while slowing his pace, almost expectantly. He was waiting for Sonia. He saw that they were saying goodbye and that Sonia was about to go home, wherever that was. But where's home for her? I've seen her somewhere before, he thought, recalling Sonia's face. I must find out. At the turning, he crossed to the opposite side of the street, looked back and saw that Sonia was following him, going exactly the same way, not noticing a thing. At the turning, she also took the very same street. He followed, training his gaze on her from the opposite pavement. After 50 paces or so, he crossed back onto the side on which Sonia was walking and almost caught up with her, keeping 5 paces between them. What does he want? He was a man of about 50, above average in height, stout, with broad, sloping shoulders, which gave him a somewhat stooped appearance. He was foppishly and affluently dressed, looking every bit the country lord. In his hand was a handsome cane, which he tapped at every step against the pavement, and his gloves looked new. His broad, high-boned face was pleasant enough, with a fresh complexion rarely seen in Petersburg. His hair, still very thick, was blonde through and through, with just the merest fleck of grey, and his broad, thick, spade-shaped beard was even fairer than the hair on his head. His eyes were light blue, and their gaze cold, intent, and thoughtful. His lips crimson. On the whole, he was a marvellously well-preserved man, who looked far younger than his years. When Sonia came out by the ditch, they found themselves alone on the pavement. Observing her, he had time to note her pensive, distracted air. On reaching her building, Sonia turned into the arch. He followed, as if somewhat surprised. On entering the courtyard, she turned right towards the corner, where there were stairs leading up to her apartment. "Ha!" muttered the stranger and began climbing up after her. "Jesus, don't do that!" Only now did Sonia notice him. She carried on up to the 3rd floor, turned off along the gallery, and rang at number 9, on the door of which Kapernamov, tailor, had been written in chalk. "Ha!" the gentleman repeated, surprised by the peculiar coincidence, and rang at number 8 next door. The doors were half a dozen paces apart. You lodge at Kapernaum's, he said, looking at Sonia and laughing. He altered a waistcoat for me yesterday. I'm right next door at Madame Reslick's. Gertruda Karlovna. Fancy that. Sonia looked at him closely. Neighbours, he continued, in a particularly cheerful kind of way. This is only my 3rd day in the city. Well, goodbye, ma'am. Sonia did not reply. Someone opened the door and she slipped through to her room. She felt ashamed for some reason, almost frightened. Going to see Porphyry, not Porphyry. Going to see Porphyry, Razumikin was unusually animated. This is splendid, brother, he said several times. I'm so glad, so glad. What have you got to be so glad about, Raskolnikov thought to himself. I'd no idea you were also pawning items with the old woman. So, was that a while ago? I mean, was it a while ago that you last visited her? Naive idiot. When was it? Raskolnikov stopped for a moment to remember. Well, about 3 days before her death, I suppose. But anyway, I'm not about to try to redeem them now. He went on with some kind of hasty, emphatic concern for his items. I'm down to my last silver rouble again, all because of yesterday's damned delirium. He laid particular stress on the last phrase. Yes, said Razumikin, though it was unclear what he was assenting to in such a hurry. So that's why you were a bit shocked at the time. You know, even when you were raving, you kept mentioning rings, chains, and what have you. Yes, now it's all clear, perfectly clear. Ha! That idea of theirs has certainly done the rounds. I mean, this man would go to the cross for my sake. But look how glad he is that the reason I kept mentioning the rings has been cleared up. None of them can get it out of their heads. Will he be in? He asked out loud. Of course he will. You know, brother, he's a smashing lad. You'll see, a bit awkward. Not that he's lacking in social graces, but awkward in a different way. He's not stupid, that's for sure. In fact, he's pretty damn clever. But he's got a very particular kind of way of thinking. He's mistrustful, sceptical, cynical. Likes playing tricks on people, or rather making fools of them. Then there's that old material method of his. But he knows what he's doing, that's for sure. There was one murder case last year. You should have seen what he dug up. Nearly all the trails had gone cold. He's very, very, very eager to meet you. Very? I can't see why. I don't mean recently, you see, ever since you fell ill, I've had reason to mention you often. Well, he'd listen, and when he heard that you were reading law and couldn't complete the course due to your circumstances, he said, what a shame. So I came to the conclusion, on the basis of everything, not just that. Yesterday, Zamatov, you see, Roger, I blurted out something to you yesterday under the influence when we were walking home, and I'm worried that you might have made too much of it. Of what? That people think I'm mad? Perhaps they're right. He forced a grin. Yes, I mean no, damn it. Whatever I may have said, and about other things too, it was all poppycock. It was all poppycock because I was drunk. Why do you keep apologizing? I'm so sick of all this, shouted Raskolnikov, with immense irritation. He was partly putting it on. I know, I understand. Rest assured, I understand. I'm even ashamed to say it. Then don't. Both fell silent. Razumikin could barely contain his excitement, and this disgusted Raskolnikov. He was also troubled by what Razumikin had just said about Porphyry. I'll have to play Lazarus for him as well, he thought with a hammering heart, and make it look natural. It would be more natural not to pretend anything. Go out of my way not to pretend. No, going out of my way wouldn't be natural either. Well, let's see how it goes. Let's see. Right now, am I sure this is such a good idea? A moth making straight for the flame. My heart's thumping. That's bad. This grey building here, said Razumikin. A above all, does Porphyry know that I went to that witch's apartment yesterday, or doesn't he? And that I asked about the blood? I have to find out the second I walk in from his face, or else I'll find out if it kills me. You know what? He suddenly said to Razumikin with a roguish smile. I've noticed that you've been unusually restless all day, haven't you? Restless? I'm not remotely restless, replied Razumikin, flinching. Really, brother, it's very noticeable. I've never seen you sit on a chair like you were doing before, perched on the edge, your whole body convulsing, jumping up for no reason. Angry one minute, a face like treacle the next. You even blushed, especially when they invited you to lunch. My, how you blushed. Complete rubbish. What's your point? Just look at you, wriggling about like a schoolboy. Damned if you're not blushing again. You really are a swine. What are you so embarrassed about, Romeo? I'll have to find someone to share this with today. I'll make Mama laugh, and not just her. Listen, I say. This is serious. This is... And then what? Damn it! Razumikin, cold with fear, could no longer make sense. What will you tell them, brother? Oh, what a swine! Like a rose in spring, and how it becomes you if only you knew. A 7-foot Romeo. Just look how you've scrubbed up today, even cleaned your nails, eh? When was the last time that happened? Goodness me, you even pomaded your hair. Bend down then. Swine! Raskolnikov was laughing so hard he seemed quite out of control, and so it was that they entered Porfiry Petrovich's apartment. It was just what Raskolnikov needed. From inside, they could be heard laughing as they came in, and still guffawing in the entrance hall. Not another word, or I'll smash your face in, Razumikin whispered in wild fury, grabbing Raskolnikov by the shoulder.